All right. Hey everyone. Hi everybody. So it's our Thursday tea party. Yes. The British are not coming today, but you do have two Irish chicks here.
Strong Irish gals.
Yes. So we're, what is today? The 22nd, I think. 21st.
Of January.
Yes, of January. So we're still in the Windmill Reboot, so 21 days in. Everything's going great so far, but we wanted to talk about mindful eating today, since that seems to be another, one of the big challenges for people is the eating, and how do I eat, and what am I supposed to eat, and what's good for me, what do you guys do, and I guess the answer to that is you need to find out what works for you. What works for me may not work for Jen, and vice versa. Or what works for one person is the complete opposite of another person.
Right. And restriction to one person is not the same as what it is to somebody else. So I think what was happening was people were saying, "What's the diet? What's the diet?"
Right.
And the point is that it's not a diet. It should not be a diet. It should be a way that you consciously choose to make a plan for yourself that's realistic, that works, that you're not going to spend the next 55 days being angry about and feeling like you're having to sacrifice everything that makes you happy. Because there's a lot of emotion rolled into food and how we choose to nourish ourselves or not, and we'll get into a little bit of that. But the point is that when we initially did the first challenge that sparked all of this, we were very restrictive about what we ate, and we held to that. This time around, we took a different approach at the beginning. We did a 6-day fast and cleansing, diet at the beginning,
which was awesome. If you want information, let us know.
Yes. Sorry, not diet. We did a program of cleansing for the first 6 days, and it was amazing. We recognized that how good we felt, what kind of energy we had, how just minor things changed. I know I slept better. I know my skin looked different. And that was just 6 days.
Yeah.
And it, it was a lot of vegetables and broth and
fruit and but equal distribute. What's the word I'm looking for? Distribution. Thank you. Of fruit and vegetables. Some people be like, "Oh, well, I eat all this fruit." Well, that's great, but you need your veggies too, which is sometimes a struggle for people.
And some people choose to eat a certain way. Some people choose vegetarianism or to be vegan for their own reasons, and other people, I know I cannot go without protein. I cannot live on just plant protein. Have I done it? Yes. Is it the best for my body and my body type and my activity type? No. So again, what works for me is not necessarily what works for someone else. And what works for you, don't feel like you're in some sort of competition or comparison. If, maybe you're doing this as part of a family, if it's not what works for the other people in the family, just, again, be mindful and be consistent in what you know is realistic for you.
Well, because the main thing is, yes, this challenge is 75 days, but we want to see you create habits that you are able to do past the 75 days. We don't want you to go through 75 days of, eating a certain way, whether it's, say, no dairy. I'm not going to do dairy at all for 75 days. That's great, but is that something that you really want to continue on? If it is, great. But we want to get those habits that are created so you become a more mindful eater or a healthy eater, or you don't go through these 75 days and you're like, oh great, I'm done, now I'm gonna have pizza and fast food every night, or whatever your eating habits were before this started. I think that's one of the biggest goals that we're wanting to see everyone accomplish, and that's goals that we want for ourselves too. I mean, we're always striving to live a healthier lifestyle, and there's always tweaks to that even we go through. Not, we by no means are perfect at any point, but there's always that room for improvement.
And just a note on that with like elimination.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest part of a 75-day challenge is what happens mentally,
Mm-hmm.
what happens emotionally, how you stretch yourself beyond, how you choose to see what it is that you're, again, mindfully deciding to remove from what your daily routine was, or what you are choosing to add to it. And we've had a lot of stuff taken away from us in the past year. So when people feel like more things are being restricted or kept from them, they don't want to do it. Like, they don't want to hop on and join something that's like, where's my joy going? Mm-hmm. But if you can choose to see that this is adding to who you are, this is adding to your awareness of, hey, I recognize by taking away dairy, or taking away my 1 glass of wine a night, or taking away something, maybe I feel differently. Maybe where I was finding my comfort is really something a lot deeper that I was just numbing out. And that's the benefit of elimination. And that goes for food, that goes for what you're consuming by reading and watching and who you're around. So figure out where your triggers are, and especially with food, figure out how you feel if you don't have something. And if it is something that you really feel beholden to that is difficult, it's probably the one thing that you need to attempt to remove.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's only for a couple days, you're gonna notice something.
Yeah.
You may not notice that it changes anything physically in you, but there's a lot to be said for our cravings. There's a lot to be said for the things that we just mindlessly go to, and So
well, and figure out for those people that you might be sitting at home and you just go to your pantry because of boredom or whatever the case may be. Why are you choosing to go to the pantry and mindlessly eat? And I know one thing that we talked about yesterday is if you have to, let's say, write down everything that you eat in a day, you might think twice about going, do I really want to go to the pantry and grab that handful of chips? Is it really worth then having to write down? And looking at that and analyzing that and saying, why am I choosing to do this? Am I choosing to find comfort? Is it out of boredom? Is it out of sadness? Is it out of, whatever the case may be? But the more conscious we become of our eating habits and our eating patterns, the more able we're to make those changes and make the changes for the better.
And keep control of things. And a really good practice is to not have food out on your countertop. Don't have things that are readily accessible. If there is something that that is your temptation all the time, maybe put it at the very back of your pantry, or put it at the very back of your refrigerator or freezer, or whatever it is. So you have to go through all these extra steps. And then also, if you're struggling with that, a good thing to do is, before you really decide to eat that, take 3 really deep breaths and ask yourself, what is this? Am I really hungry? Is this a good choice for me right now? How do I feel? How am I gonna feel if I decide to consume this? And if you decide to consume it, don't hate yourself for it.
Right.
I mean, there is so much more nourishment that comes to your body if you are in a state of enjoyment and acceptance what you're consuming, than if you are in this state of you know, deprivation and self-hatred or whatever it is, just choose to be good to yourself, choose to be kind to yourself, you know.
Well, and how often when we do say, okay, well, I'm not going to eat ice cream, or, you know, whatever that treat is, all of a sudden, as soon as you mentally tell yourself, I cannot have it, that is all you want to eat. So if you just say, I'm choosing, you know, I'm choosing not to have ice cream, or I'm choosing not to have sweets, it makes it a little easier,
more palatable.
Yeah. And then if you do say, you know, I'm choosing not to have sweets, but you know what, I'm gonna give myself a small bite of a cupcake, or I'm gonna give myself one cookie. That's a lot more rewarding than just saying, oh, I can't have it at all, and then you just get pissed off.
Right.
You know?
I agree. What else do we need to cover? It's just about being realistic.
Yes.
And
that's the biggest thing for sure.
Be realistic, and it takes a lot of planning. Like, if you're going to change your eating style and your habits, and especially if you run a household in any way, if you have to share space with anybody else, and they may not be doing this with you, so you may not have that support, or you know, you may not have people who are on this same game plan with you, that's an additional, you know, frustration maybe. But you know, so whatever is realistic for you, do that. And if that just means that you're choosing healthier options of something, like, you know, maybe you get fast food every day. Maybe it's just saying, I'm only gonna do it, you know, this amount of times during the day, which, you know, even just making those mindful decisions can really be helpful in getting you to understand where your habits and your patterns are. So yeah, we just wanted to hit on all of that, and please, you know, don't hesitate to reach out if you're needing some ideal food plans. We have a lot here. You know, like I said, we did that 6-day cleanse, which was nothing harsh. It was very subtle. It was food. It was not any of these chemicals that, you know, made you stay near the bathroom every day or anything like that.
Super easy to follow too.
Dr. Sean has a number of really great, you know, phased eating plans that people can abide by. We've got some great recipes. I mean, I try to stick more to keto and paleo. I'm not sure what you do.
I don't really know what I stick
Maybe
to.
not paleo, because I like cheese. But anyway, think about it. Take some time, really think about how it is that you want to eat. Imagine how you're going to feel when you are nourishing yourself properly, and when you're filling and fueling yourself with what is good for you. And if it's not good for you,
chances are you shouldn't be having it.
If it's not good for you, if it's triggering you or it's toxic in any way, and this is not just for food, that's a gift to get to that awareness. And then it can be a struggle to eliminate that from your life. But if you know that it's going to make you feel better in the long run, that's not a diet, that's a lifestyle. So again, we're here to support.
Yes.
We're here to cheer you on.
And provide any information that you want. If you want information on that 6-day cleanse, let us know, comment, text the office, 314-849-4120, and let us know. So we're excited for everybody who's doing the Windmill Reboot, and hoping that you're enjoying our videos.
So we'll keep tuning in on Thursdays for our tea parties.
Yes. So we'll see you next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
All right.
All right.
Have a good one.
Take care. Be well.